Whoa. So apparently, Disney, Marvel Studios could have the possibility of losing some of the Avengers characters due to copyright. Anyways, guys, we're going to talk about some news that dropped yesterday. They're actually huge. So, Disney, Marvel Studios actually, but belongs to Disney. They are suing to keep the copyrights to some of the Avengers characters, and that is because a certain copyright law that after a certain years, the copyright falls back into the hands of the owners, and I gotta say these copyrights laws are extremely hard to understand. Not long ago, I took a copyright class in college, mostly because I wanted to understand copyright, even for YouTube. Because if you're a YouTuber, you probably know you're always getting copyrights on things that you're not supposed to, like reactions, for instance, or reviews. If you're using a clip for a review, you're not supposed to really, that's falls under fair use. So I really wanted to understand all of that. And at the end of that class, all I can tell you guys that the only thing I understood is that at the end of the day, it's all about who has the better lawyers. Basically, that's what my professor said, because the law says one thing, but he also explains there's always a way around it. It's basically what Disney Marvel Studios is trying to do now. They don't want to lose the characters, but it's not because they won't be able to make movies, because obviously if these characters go back to the original creators, obviously we're talking here about the heirs to Stanley, Steve Ditko, and Gene Colan. Of course it would go to the heirs. And obviously, what are they going to do with it? They probably want to make money out of it. So they'll still allow Disney to, create the Marvel universe, the films, and all of that. But the difference is that Disney would have to pay them. So at the end of the day, this is a battle for money. That's all I'm saying. And if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a huge Marvel fan, if you're worried about this, I wouldn't even be worried about it, because, like my professor said, they have really good lawyers and they have a lot of money, and they're trying to prevent, they just want to keep the copyrights to these characters. And what they're saying here is that apparently it falls under works for hire. That's why it's just so complicated. I cannot even begin to get into this stuff, because like I said, it's just how you formulate your phrase. That's they're playing on words here, because technically in 2023, June 2023 is saying here, the heirs should get the rights to Iron Man, what characters are Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon, Thor. Oh my goodness, Ant-Man. So basically the whole Avengers here, they wouldn't have it. But it's like I said, it's not like they wouldn't be able to make movies. They would just have to pay the creators, which I don't think is a bad thing. The only thing here is that Marvel Studios is suing because they don't want to have to pay rights to the person that to be quite fair, the person that created is no longer here. Right? Stan Lee is no longer here, so it's still, the money is still going to the heirs. But I find this kind of stuff fascinating, because there's a lot of other instances where creators, writers, they had sued Disney because they didn't get paid, because what happens today is that these companies, they take over these major characters because they have the money and they make all these amazing films, but sometimes they don't really want to pay the person that created. That doesn't make much sense to me. But like I said, it's really, you cannot even begin to understand these copyright laws, because I'm pretty sure Disney is not going to have any trouble winning this. But even if Disney, let's suppose that the Marvel studio, they lose and the rights goes back to the heirs, right, of the creators, Disney would still be able to license the characters to create films, but they would have to pay them a large amount of money, and that's what they're trying to avoid. So basically, that's what is happening here. The only bad that could happen from all of this is that if the situation is stuck in court, what could happen is that either party will not be able to create movies or use these characters until the whole situation is resolved. So yes, perhaps when I said at the beginning, if you're a Marvel fan, not to worry, maybe you should worry a little bit, because what could happen is that we're gonna have some delay on these characters and we won't have films for maybe a couple of years. But I don't know. I have a feeling that they're it's about money. They're gonna find a way. I think Disney might win this battle, or not. I don't know, guys, but I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this? Do you think the rights should go back to the heirs? You know, because obviously they would license these characters for movies anyways. They could create more comic books. If I would say, I would be happy if Stan Lee was still alive or the original creators were around, because they could potentially create even more awesome stories going forward. But since they are not around, this would go back to their heirs. It's all about who gets paid the money, you know? So do the heirs deserve to get the money from these characters? But Disney didn't create these characters either, so I'm not sure here. All I want to say is that I love watching the Marvel films, and I hope that this is not really affecting the MCU going forward. Hopefully not. But anyways, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, because that's a very interesting situation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.